met in America and Europe. The VP-8 is an interesting scientific instrument. It's an analog. This is before computers as such as we know them today, and it's before digital. It's the 1960s, and let's just review this quickly. So my research took a photo of the Shroud of Turin and other photos, but this will concentrate on the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin is the only photograph being two-dimensional, that comes up as a three-dimensional on the monitor of the XYZ oscilloscope. So there's been a lot of history, archaeology, personal testimonies, scientific findings, and about the image appearing on the monitor of the VP-8, it corresponds to the study of the Shroud of Turin and what it holds for the viewer. So if you want to just take your hands and fold them into a praying position and then open them up on the inside of your palms, that is the photograph that Segundo Pia saw in 1898. If you pull them just a little bit apart as they're folded, that is where the image was appearing on the inside, as we have several examples here. So that's what we're talking about on this photograph of the Shroud of Turin using the VP-8. So the evidentiary image of the man in the shroud appears inside the folded linen cloth. The deceased body was placed on the cloth, and the remainder of the fabric brought over the back and top of the head, and then placed over the length of the front of the body. The VP-8 image analyzer shows the hidden clues that were embedded in the linen at the time of the resurrection. When a photo of the Shroud of Turin is used with the VP-8 image analyzer, the hidden brightness embedded in the fibers of the shroud are visualized on the monitor of the oscilloscope. The facial and body features exhibit the appearance of 3D, showing topographic distance and proportionality when viewed on the oscilloscope. The embedded brightness, which may be from photons, such as from a burst of radiation, shows this dimensionality. When the VP-8 is used with a 2D photo, two-dimensional photo of the shroud, just a regular photograph that we are all very familiar with, the resulting image exhibits 3D brightness and appears as a most important finding. This finding is unique due to the brightness of height, length, and width of the intensity of the grayscale appearing on the X, Y, and Z axis. The representation of a crucified man on the linen cloth shows the evidence of a spear entry and exit wound and other blood and body fluid stains that many scourging marks. And as we see the video of Kevin Moran, who has the VP-8 analyzer that I used, he will show on that image monitor, as you see the blood coming forward from the spear. These wounds and marks are consistent with the passion and death of Jesus around the year 33 AD. This is a painting in the Holy Sepulchre where the spear was getting ready to pierce through the ribs, hitting the heart, and going out as an exit wound of the puncture wound of the sword on the back of Jesus. So as we see the image analyzer, as we view it on the video, we'll see that. There is every reason to believe that the man of the shroud is Jesus of Nazareth. The brightness embedded in the discolored fibers exhibit a coloration consistent with a burst of force, such as radiation. The only explanation is that the radiation phenomena came from the crucified man. The reaction creating this phenomena was a fast burst of energy at the time of resurrection. The methods and materials, the examination of the photographs, the gain was increased, the analog system converted the brightness to a grayscale, the intensity of the brightness appeared with a proportional, and this is important, proportional 3D image. That means the face, the body, everything came out on the monitor in a proportional way. The intensity of the brightness appeared with this proportional appearance. The Shroud photo was the only photo with embedded information in the linen, and that is a key clue, that exhibited the brightness plot on the XYZ oscillator monitor. So the Shroud and Jesus of Nazareth, how do we know that this could be? Because of the writings, the testimonies. Well, this is a photo of the area in the Holy Land where the Dead Sea Scrolls are being found and then analyzed. So they can actually read what was on the Dead Sea Scrolls. And this verifies the scriptures, just about word for word. So the testimonies that have been handed down, we can now see, are in writing. The Bible, the archaeological finds, the historians such as Josephus, all of these people, along with the healings and that people witnessed, give the direct testimonies that Jesus of Nazareth existed and was the person that suffered the passion and death. And we ask, how could he raise in 3 days? How is this possible? Well, we know that the Shroud had a journey from Jerusalem to Turin, and we know that there are several findings along the way that help us state where the Shroud was located. And this is a picture of the manuscript, the Pray manuscript, that shows the detail of the Shroud, of, say, like the little burn holes. And so we know that the history of the Shroud, we can trace it, in addition to this clue, this very special clue that the VP-8 shows. Evidence of eyewitness, evidence of accounts, and we know that the Shroud was removed from the tomb by the apostles, preserved for safekeeping as they journeyed and witnessed about the events of Jesus of Nazareth. It was taken to various locations that are described in other papers. The Shroud today is located in Turin, Italy, thus the name, the Shroud of Turin. The evidentiary image occurred inside the folded linen, and this shows the first photograph taken by Segundo Pia in 1898. These two photos show an entry wound of the spear and the back spear exit. This is the VP-8 showing the face of Jesus of Nazareth from the Shroud of Turin, from Segundo Pia's photograph. And you see the proportionality as the face emerges on the oscillator. The two side by side, the photo taken by Segundo Pio and the VP-8 image analyzer. The theory of identification is important because that is how you and I are able to recognize things and people. So for example, your car is in the parking lot. There are 5 just like your car. But when you wonder, how can I know which one is mine? I have the key, so I can drive away. That is the definite answer. But to find your car, it's the accidental dents and scrapes. So that is how we are identifying the Shroud of Turin with Jesus of Nazareth, given the unique clues embedded in the linen. Oops. I need to... That's the ending. I need to show the video. Well, you'll be able to see some of the findings if I have enough time here. So we'll make sure that we can get this video going. We did yesterday, so we got a little bit of a technology here, but thank you, Wade. Okay, now. Kevin Moran has been so generous with many folks here, and this is his VP-8, Wade. Wade, that voice, the sound. Oh, okay. Well, in the beginning here, he says his credentials.
In 3D, and this is just very unusual. Today, even today, computer, people say, oh, it can't. Well, it can, because most images are by reflected light, and reflected light does not have three-dimensional information. What's happened here is we have a video camera, and it feeds into the video input of the VP-8 system. And with it, we can get a regular live image, rotate the image, and I can tip the image. In short, this is not a computer. This is not a television. This is a oscilloscope. This is an oscilloscope that is utilizing X, Y, and Z signals directly from the VP-8. And that's what's so unique about this. This is the gain control. In other words, no gain, no image. As I increase the gain, here comes the image. And you can see how the image moves perfectly smooth. Now you can certainly see the hands, you can certainly see the fingers. So once again, we're getting a very sharp picture of the edges of the blood, the stomach, heart area. And of course, right on the side is the image of the spear. See how it jumps out? Because in the actual picture, it's very bloody white. Remember, white on black and white is the color of the blood. Okay. The three-dimensional image is likewise in real time. All right, here again. What we see from the shroud and apply physics to this issue, we can say that the only way to explain the image is that as the body went into a risen state, the mass particles left. Now these particles are what give them mass and, so to speak, lock him down to the earth. But we know when he rose from the dead, he could go through a door, and St. Ammonius of Alexandria in the 5th century, he said he just passed right through the shroud. In order to pass through the shroud without leaving anything behind, the reaction that marked the shroud had to be a very fast particle emission from the body. Radiation phenomena only lasted about 2.5 centimeters. That means that deep inside the body, the heart, and so on, you won't see that because those radiations conked out along the way. But from the hand, you know, the 2.5 centimeters from the hand was sufficient to see not only the bones in the fingers, but even the thumb underneath. Okay, that's how they determined that the image was only being done over 2.5 centimeters. Now, if you put that all together, the speed of light and everything, it turns out that 120 picoseconds is the only length of time that the particles existed. And the reason we have to say this is because they were collimated, or as you might say, easier focused by gravity. Now, light is bent by gravity, i.e. Einstein, and Carter measurement, but never has it been seen locally that light can be focused as sharply as from the shroud. So we can honestly say, whatever the particle was, it certainly was very high energy, and therefore we don't know what it is. We'll have to make it clear. So there's no digital processing. There's any of that going on here. And that's what's so important. That's why this is a classic, not only a story, but it's unique in that the circuit, you can't take it.
So I thank you. I have very few seconds left, but I did want to say that of these findings, they'll be on the website. And this image of the shroud is the original shroud. I was in Turin, and I took this photo with my telephone, my smartphone, and I was about 80 feet away. So it's quite an event to see the true shroud. This is a picture of the edicule in the Holy Sepulchre where Jesus was laid on the stone. And recently, National Geographic, University of Athens, and the patriarchs of the Holy Sepulchre actually went down, picked up the two stones. The archaeologists removed the two stones, and they could see the stone that Jesus was laid on. And they put the marble back from the Crusader time and also from the other marble that you see when you go into the edicule. So I know that it's a burst of energy, and these are some ideas for future research. In addition, you can use your smartphone to capture the image, and I encourage you all to put your phone into the vision part that you can get the negative timing, and you can also see the image and have it on your phone and talk to your family and friends. Thank you very much.